Copy 724, right. Center maintain 2000.
Center maintain 2074.
Comment 504 to center maintain 3000.
3000, comment 504.
In this video, I'm gonna be summarizing the airspace. I figured out like things I covered related to the airspace were too much, so I just wanted to make a video to summarize the airspace. So class alpha airspace again starts from the 18,000 feet, and just remember after 18,000 feet we start using the flight levels FL, and goes up to flight level 600, which basically means 60,000 feet. Okay, only IFR are permitted, no VFR, and you need an ATC clearance in order to get in there. Minimum pilot qualifications are again the instrument rating. Two-way radio communication is necessary, and the ATC is responsible, like ATC does have provide the aircraft separation. Then the second one is the Bravo airspace. Starts from the surface, or can start from the surface, and goes normally again to 10,000 feet. Both IFR and VFR are permitted. You need an ATC clearance in order to get into it. You can be a private pilot license or even a student pilot license with permissions. You can actually fly in there. You need to have two-way radio communication. In terms of the visibility, for the VFR, you need to have 3 statute miles, and minimum distance from the clouds, it should be clear of the clouds, and the aircraft separation is provided, conflict resolution is provided, traffic advisories, safety advisories, everything is provided by the ATC. Then we have a Charlie airspace. Goes from the surface to 4,000 feet. Again, this is AGL, and this was MSL. This was again MSL, right? But now we have started talking about the above ground level, not the mean sea level. So this 4,000 is AGL. Both IFR and VFR are permitted. You need an ATC clearance for the IFR and radio contact for all. So if you are flying IFR, you need a clearance. But if you are flying VFR, you need a contact. A contact needs to be established, and we did talk about it now in our previous videos. Okay, and minimum pilot qualification, you can, even a student pilot can enter into it. Two-way radio communication is necessary. Visibility, in terms of the VFR visibility, you need to have 3 statute miles, and the VFR again, it stays like 3 statute miles, 500 below clearance from the clouds, 1,000 above clearance, and 2,000 horizontal clearance. And in terms of the ATC gives you separation. It gives you the again for the IFR, And sometimes for the special VFR you can get that, but for the IFR they definitely provide you the aircraft separation. Conflict resolution is given to the IFR and VFR operations too. You can get the traffic advisories and the safety advisories. Fourth one is the class Delta airspace. Starts from the surface to 2,500 above ground level. Both are allowed, IFR and VFR. Again, just like class Charlie airspace, the clearance is required for the IFR, and radio contact should be established for the VFR at the minimum. Student pilot can enter into it. You need a two-way radio communication. Yes, you do need that. VFR minimum visibility is the 3 statute miles, and then 500 below, 1000 above, and 2000 feet horizontal, clear of the clouds. In terms of the aircraft separation, only VFR, and again for the special VFRs, there is guaranteed. For the VFR, it is not guaranteed. Conflict resolution, no. Traffic advisories, depending on the workload on the ATC, they can give you the traffic advisories and the safety advisories. Class Echo airspace. Okay. It does not have any vertical limit. It extends upward from either the surface or a designated altitude to the overlaying or adjacent controlled airspace. But in general, they start from 300 feet. Right below that, it becomes uncontrolled, and sometimes it starts with 1200 feet. There is no vertical limit except for the if you reach 18,000 feet, right? Then it becomes the class Echo airspace. And then when the class Echo finishes, which is flight level 600, then again the class Echo, the controlled airspace starts. In terms of the operations, both IFR and VFR are welcome. ATC clearance for the IFR, still ATC does give you the clearance for the IFR operations. Like student pilot is good enough to fly in it, two-way radio communication. Yes, for the IFR. If you are in the controlled airspace and you are flying as IFR, you do need the two-way radio communication. And in terms of the VFR, minimum visibility is still 3 statute miles. And again 500 below, 1000 above, 2000 horizontal. Aircraft separation for the IFR and VFR is provided. Conflict resolution is not done, and depending on the workload, you can get the traffic advisories and safety advisories. Okay, the last one is class G, Golf airspace. So it is, as we said, there does not have like no standard is there for the upper limit. It goes from the surface, but as I mentioned, normally is up to 700 feet or sometimes goes up to 1200 feet. It's an uncontrolled airspace, but there is a rule that in any condition, whether mentioned or not, it cannot exceed 14,500 feet. This is the maximum limit for at any point in time or in space. This is how the uncontrolled airspace can exceed in altitude. Both are welcome, the IFR and the VFR. You do not have any prerequisites for entering into it. Student pilot is good enough to fly in it. You do not need a two-way radio communication in it. Visibility is like 1 statue mile is enough. Again, the same 500 rule, 1000 rule, and 2000 is good enough for the clears of the cloud. No separation for the aircraft is provided. No conflict resolution is in there. Yeah. Yeah, and that would cover all of our airspaces. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.